When I opened the door that night, she was standing there barefoot, her hair tangled from the wind, eyes red from crying, and she was wearing my shirt. Only my shirt. For a moment, I couldn't speak. The sight hit me like a memory I'd buried deep, a ghost from a chapter one thought had already ended. And yet, there she was, real, trembling, and looking at me like I was the last person in the world who could save her. I didn't invite her in right away. I didn't have to. She stepped forward, her voice breaking the silence between us. I didn't know where else to go. That single line, those 6 words, were enough to shatter the wall I'd built for months. I stepped aside, and she walked in, brushing past me like a storm that had lost its direction. The air was heavy, thick with everything unsaid. My apartment looked the same, except now it smelled faintly like her again, like rain and vanilla. I'd spent months trying to erase that scent from my life, but now, it clung to the air as if mocking me. She sat on the couch, pulling my shirt around herself, knees tucked in, staring at the floor. I tried to find the right words. "You shouldn't be here, Anna." She laughed softly, bitterly. "I know. But I had nowhere else to go." And that's when I noticed the bruise on her wrist. Small, purple, but there. My anger, something I thought had died with the relationship, flared alive again. Did he do that? I asked. Her silence was answer enough. I wanted to yell, to curse the man who'd done that, but instead, I just knelt in front of her. "You're safe here," I said quietly. "No one's going to hurt you anymore." That night, we didn't talk much. I gave her a blanket and watched as she fell asleep on the couch, curled up in my shirt, the same one she used to steal from my drawer when mornings came too early. The city outside was silent, but inside my chest, old feelings screamed for attention. I sat by the window until dawn, watching the light crawl across her face. Somewhere between the first ray of sunlight and the sound of her breathing, I realized the truth. I'd never really stopped loving her, but love, I knew, wasn't enough before. Would it be this time? Morning came quietly. She woke up, blinking at the sunlight cutting through the curtains, and for a brief second, she smiled like she used to, when things were simple. But the smile faded quickly. "I should go," she said. "Go where?" I asked, knowing she didn't have an answer. She sighed, her voice small. I don't want to mess up your life again." I laughed, shaking my head. "You think my life's fine without you?" That made her look at me, really look. Her eyes filled with tears she tried to hide. "You don't know what I've done," she whispered. "Then tell me," I said gently. She took a long breath, her voice trembling. "He found out I'd been texting you. Nothing serious, just I missed you, and I wanted to see how you were. He got angry. He broke things. I tried to leave, but he wouldn't let me. Tonight, I finally ran." Hearing that felt like a knife twisting in my chest. I wanted to find the man, to make him regret ever raising a hand to her. But I also knew she didn't come for revenge. She came for peace, for safety. "Stay," I said. "Just for a while. Until you're ready." She hesitated, then nodded. "Okay." Days passed, quiet but heavy. We moved around each other carefully, like we were afraid of breaking the silence. I cooked, she read. Sometimes she'd hum softly, the same old tune she used to sing when washing dishes. It was like having a ghost back, one that smiled and cried at the same time. One evening, I found her on the balcony, staring at the city lights. "Do you ever think we could start over?" she asked. I looked at her for a long time. "I think people can start over. Maybe we can, too." She turned to me, eyes glistening. "I want to, but I don't know if I deserve it." "You don't have to deserve love, Anna. You just have to accept it." That night, she reached for my hand. It was the simplest touch, but it felt like forgiveness. Not just between us, but for ourselves. Weeks turned into months. Slowly, she began to heal. The bruises faded, the nightmares came less often, and the laughter came back. She found a job nearby, started painting again, and one morning, I woke up to see my old white shirt hanging out to dry beside hers. That moment hit me harder than anything. It wasn't just a shirt anymore, it was a sign that she was rebuilding her life, and somehow, I was a part of it. But life has a way of testing what you love. One evening, she told me she'd been offered a position in another city, something she'd dreamed of before everything fell apart. I smiled, proud of her, but my chest tightened. That's amazing, I said, forcing the words. She bit her lip. It's far away. I don't want to leave you. Anna, I said softly, you're not leaving me. You're finding yourself again. That's what I always wanted for you. Tears filled her eyes, but this time they weren't from pain, they were from hope. Will you wait for me? She asked. I smiled, brushing a strand of hair from her face. I never stopped. The night before she left, she wore my shirt again. Just like the first night, but this time, her eyes were calm, her smile genuine. We sat together on the couch, the city lights flickering across the room. Do you ever think we'll find each other again? She asked. I think we already did, I said. When she left the next morning, she didn't say goodbye. She just looked back once, the sun behind her, and whispered, thank you. Months later, I still found that shirt folded neatly in my drawer. Every time I saw it, I remembered not the night she came back broken, but the morning she left whole. And maybe that's what love really is, not holding on, but helping someone find the strength to walk away when it's time, because sometimes, the people who come back into your life wearing your shirt aren't there to stay. They're there to remind you that love, when it's real, doesn't need to be forever to mean everything.